A very good afternoon and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News today on the 21st of October 2022. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. I hope you're enjoying your day. In our top stories of the day, in a recent meeting with local leaders from Bukonzo West in Kasese, the resident District Commissioner Kasese Limited, Lieutenant Joy Walusimbi directed local authorities to submit monthly security reports to his office. These reports are intended to track the security measures implemented to safeguard the communities. During the meeting, Lieutenant Walusimbi expressed strong disapproval against politicians who attempt to politicize security matters. Meanwhile, the State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, has supported the reinstating of village vigilant groups as a means of enhancing security in the area. Kawa and Dan Lugema report.
Kasese's top leadership has interacted with local leaders from Bukonzo West constituency to discuss and harmonize strategies for mitigating criminal elements. This follows reported cases of rebel attacks that resulted in property damage and fatalities in Kasese district, perpetrated by remnants believed to be fleeing from the UPDF firepower mounted against rebels in the thickets of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Know that these elements, those are the fragments, I might say, coming from DRC, now coming here in our national parks and other places that they should know that they are still in existence.
Accordingly, Mpondwe-Lubiriha Town Council is a densely populated area, hosting various business activities, making it vulnerable to security threats.
Many of them, most of them don't even know each other. Some of them include our relatives from across the border, some of whom acquire property, including land, through pseudo means, through relatives, through others. So there is a bit of a security problem that we have to analyze here.
The terrain in Kasese district poses a challenge of patrolling and policing due to the presence of hard-to-reach areas characterized with limited manpower to monitor porous borders. Now, locals do argue and believe that the reinstatement of village vigilante systems can enhance the sharing of intelligence, which could lead to foiling, reporting, and deterring any form of criminal threat in the district.
If we form them, now our people can be basing on those vigilantes, that they can work with the community and part of the security team that will be in partnership with those vigilantes. And secondly, now we have got awareness about the security. That security starts with me and any person. So our LOCs now can be ready to fight this situation now, because they have known that the power belongs to their hand.
But for the start, they don't need to have guns. They can do intelligence, vigilantes, but with intelligence, to give intelligence to the army. Because I think we have enough forces. But with the time, if we feel the forces are not enough, then the government can also think about that.
We all know that most of the areas within Kasese have no what we call network. And that is a problem. So how are you able to communicate effectively to the authorities in case of any eventuality or security threat in the areas?
Yes, security network itself, it has been a threat also. It is a challenge. Currently even in Handiro, but some parts we don't have network. But our community members, when they land on that incident, they try hard, like to run in a spot where like they always get less signals of network and they communicate, which takes a long time to deliver the information. And another thing, our people like can use borders. They rush to an LOC, either a police office.
Kasese RDC Lieutenant Joy Walusimbi has directed LC3's town clerks and sub-county chiefs to conduct monthly security committee meetings, complete with security budgets.
On peace, there is no joke. I think you can even defend that. And we will caution you when you have put a token on a budget of security.
Help us and at least bring 2 to 3 UPDF soldiers on each school Because as per now, we as candidates, we are not safe. We are not safe at all. We are very attentive. And if it is night time, for sure we can't sleep.
This country of ours is one of the peaceful country. We should have enough security purpose so that we study with generous hearts, because nowadays we are scared of some incidents.
There have been reported instances of political misinformation during several attacks in Kasese, creating mistrust among the members of the public.
We should know that we are dealing with a very barbaric person who can't differentiate between NRM and FDC and NUP and so on and DP. So here, let us get politics out of it. But as politicians, we should mobilize the population to support the army. We should mobilize the population to be cautious. We should mobilize the LOCs to go back to the first principles and understand their roles in the villages.
Minister Godfrey Kabyanga is traversing Kasese to encourage and guide residents on their role in enhancing security and addressing the challenges hindering their involvement in ensuring safety. Ivan Kahwa and Dan Lugemwa in Kasese district.
Training is vital for every soldier's professional development in the armed forces. Mountain Warfare Training School Karugutu in Ntoroko district under the Mountain Division has considerably equipped foot soldiers with mountain combat techniques that include maneuvering in harsh terrain conditions. Harun Amtesasida reports.
The Mountain War Training School is located in Kalgoorlie Town Council, the local district, and is approximately 319 kilometers from Kampala on Bundibujo Road. Training is a vital part of every soldier and officer's professional development in the army. Mountain warfare training is both physical and mentally demanding. Major General D. Kolum is the divisional commander Mountain Division, and Colonel Musoke Kavuma is the commandant of Mountain Warfare Training School.
Lakini kazi yetu kama Mountain Division ni kazi ya kupigana, na tunapigana sio Kongo peke yake. Hata Uganda tunapigana. Sema yoyote rais president anasema twende tupigane, tunafanya nini? Ndio maana unatuita the Mountain Division.
Flight instructors equip soldiers with tactical and technical training for mountain warfare operations.
If you got more opportunity, still come back and enhance. You guys are a superior military, you are very, very modern, you are more experienced. These are young soldiers. These are young soldiers who do not have that expertise to be smart in everything. But when they listen from you, when they hear what you are saying, when they see what you are showing them, it sticks into their mind. Every day of your life is a day of learning. When you get experienced militaries like them, you only don't learn from what they teach you. You also learn from the way they behave. So for us, we believe that you as young soldiers, you should endeavor to grasp whether it is on medical first aid issue, whether it is on counter IEDs, all that is what you are going to get in the field.
It also enables soldiers to operate successfully using proven techniques derived from lessons learned in drills in mountains and harsh terrain.
So today we are passing out a total of 503, and they are ready to begin combat. They are ready for military consumption, and effective today they are being deployed to the field. Apart from that, we had another group divided into 3 small groups, and they were trained by the French experts.
Uganda People's Defense Forces in its wisdom began a mountain warfare school to equip soldiers with mountaineers war tactics. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Moving on from that, entrepreneurs in Langos region have accused commercial banks of denying them access to agricultural credit facility and small business recovery fund. The farmers allege that all commercial banks mandated to give out these loans are unwilling to disburse the fund due to their low interest rate.
Let us leave them alone. They die their natural death.
Agricultural Credit Facility and Small Business Recovery Fund was initiated in 2009 by Government of Uganda in partnership with some financial institutions to provide affordable credit to small and large enterprises engaged in agriculture. According to this initiative, selected financial institutions were to provide this service to farmers at an interest of 12% per annum. However, farmers in Lango have raised concerns over the manner in which the credit services are being handled by the commercial banks.
SCF fund be given through chambers of commerce.
The commercial bank, I think they are seeing that if they expose that agricultural credit facilities loan, farmers will again take advantage of getting that one only and leaving their loans.
During an engagement meeting with business owners and farmers in Lango, organized by Bank of Uganda in Lira City, several concerns were raised over the disbursement and recovery.
My humble appeal to each one of you is to use institutions that are licensed and regulated by Bank of Uganda, institutions that are licensed by the Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority.
This is a risk-shared facility. What that means is that government bears 50% of the risk and financial institutions bear 50% of the risk. So before they actually lend you this money, they have to be able to ascertain through the due diligence that they conduct that you are indeed viable, you're eligible first of all, that you're a farmer and you're engaged in active business, but also that you have the potential to pay this loan.
Farmers requested that the loans be channeled through their chambers of commerce rather than the former arrangement. The director, Chambers of Commerce, Bosco Gwangedola, noted that the Bank of Uganda should consider regular engagements with the farmers to address the issues resulting from communication gaps.
But I am also seeing from what I've been discussing with my colleagues, sometimes your terms of this facility of ACF, your requirement sometimes is misunderstood with other banks.
Currently we're charging the ACF 12%, but if we got more funds to de-risk, we could lower it much below that, so that we see how to accommodate the agricultural activity.
At least 800 billion shillings has been disbursed over the last 14 years since the Agricultural Credit Facility was started. The Agricultural Credit Facility is a joint initiative of the Uganda government, commercial banks and credit institutions to offer medium to long-term financing for agribusiness projects focusing on the commercialization value addition, which was started in 2009. Edi Ulwa, UBC News.
Cultural leaders from the 9th district of Karamoja have elected Peter Adey of Nyakwe in Abim district as the first Karamoja king with the title Papa and a cow as the cultural symbol. In the meeting held in Moroto Municipality, attended by the 3rd Division Commander Major General Don Williams Nabasa, Division Intelligence Officer Colonel Peter Wemba, Nabila Tuk, among Operations Usalama Kwawote ISO Director, Deputy RDC Nabila Tuk, among others. Cultural leaders said the aim of the Karamoja Culture Administration is to address the challenges in the region. Adey pledged to work with the security chiefs in the region to end insecurity.
Karamoja sub-region has 9 districts, each representing a sub-clan or more. The districts include Moroto district for Matheniko, Kotido district for G, Napak district for Bokora, Amdat districts for Pokots, Abim districts for Ether, Karenga district for Napole, Nakapiripirit, and Nabilatuk districts for Pian people. Most of the decisions are made during the Achirikate, where only initiated elders access it since the place is regarded as scared. It's from this place where elders sit and evoke their gods on the troubles of the region, such as hunger, drought, among others. According to natives of Karamoja sub-region, people access it to present their issues.
Their voice, leaving the voiceless of the Wazee in the Achirikate. So meaning the Ghana has grabbed all their powers from the elders.
It remains unclear on whether it's the reason why Karamoja culture leaders have formed Karamoja Culture Administration, where Peter Adey of Nywake Abim district has been elected as the first Karimajong king.
Papa Karamoja was called a king. Papa is that's the spelling. The title of the cultural head will be called Papa Anasvan. Papa Anasvan, meaning the father of the ceremony.
Adey apologized to the security chiefs for cultural leaders not to cooperate with them in fighting criminality in Karamoja sub-region.
I'm sorry for leaving you to work alone.
Cultural leaders pledged to work with security forces in the region.
So that we find out these hidden elements who still have guns. We are ready to work hand in hand with you to remove those guns, sir. When we do it, we are not ready to welcome these Kenyans from Takana, this Takana from Kenya.
While officiating at the function held in Moroto municipality, the 3rd Division Commander Major General Williams Don Nabasa commended Karamoja culture leaders for the initiative.
This is very important on account that it bridges the gap between us, the security forces, with you, the culture leaders.
Nabasa promised to take them for an ideological orientation training as it was with the local council leaders.
Because these are the most important leaders in Karamoja. More important than the politicians.
Yes.
These people are more important than the politicians. Because whoever wants to go out for a mission does not look for the politicians, for the press, but they come to you. So we need to arrange something for you so that we can take you to visit and also acquire some lessons that will help us here in Karamoja.
But who will sit in Karamoja Culture Administration?
This is the way it's going to be. We shall have a Karamoja Cultural Council, who will be headed by a senior elder. A senior elder is the one who initiated earlier than all the rest of the elders.
The term Onward Movers has emerged to describe refugees who seek better opportunities by relocating from one country to another. More than 1,000 individuals returned to refugee settlements in Uganda seeking refuge once again. Now, they had initially left their settlements in search of a better life but found their lives unbearable in the refugee camps of Kakuma and central Kenya. The government has responded to this situation by tasking the National Agriculture Organization, NARO, with introducing nutritious and fast-growing crops to alleviate food shortages within refugee communities.
The region, we are receiving majority, I should say 98% of the people received are coming from Democratic Republic of Congo.
Uganda currently hosts a refugee population of over 1.53 million individuals and asylum seekers. These refugees are accommodated in settlements across the southwestern, West Nile and northwestern districts of the country. They reside on government-owned land and receive support from both the government and various partners. Unfortunately, the availability of financial resources has dwindled due to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and the global economic downturn.
We are having increasing numbers of refugees day in, day out, but each year we are having resources decrease. I think this is going to be very challenging for government, first of all, to support the refugee operation in the region, because it suppresses economically the different host districts in the different sectors. You see a lot of crowding in schools, a lot of crowding in health centers or hospitals. Of course, the road network within the refugee settlements, the districts, is being affected. But all of this can be handled and managed well for refugees and nationals within those areas to get better services if resources are available.
Consequently, there have been reductions in food rations and financial support to refugees which prompted some of them to leave Uganda for Kenya, attracted by promises of a better life.
And what could have caused those movements, to me, I think from the interaction I've had with refugees, it was about prioritization, where World Food Program decided, following the decrease in donor funding, decided to reduce on the food, on the rations, food and cash rations. So in Kenya, being in the camps, for them they were getting much higher quantities of food and money. So they thought that if they go to Kenya, maybe life will be better than here.
This migration occurred despite the freedoms accorded to refugees, including the ability to cultivate a 30 by 50 piece of land, engage in employment and business, and form associations, all in accordance with Uganda's refugee policy. This policy grants them full access to various aspects of life, with the exception of unlawful activities and national politics. Over 1,000 individuals, primarily from Ramwanja in Kamwenge, Chakatu in Chegegwa, Nachivale and Oruching in Isinjiro district reportedly fled to Kenya.
So that's why you see the movement as of now is almost not there. It's very insignificant if it is there. Not as it was, where people were hiring buses and you could not even know. It was very syndicated because they knew there is a lot of expectation of a better life where they were going. But now they are helping us even talk to their fellow refugees that what they assumed is in Kenya is actually not the reality. And I think somewhere, somehow, their lives here are better off, because Kenya, it is camps. Some few who managed to sneak in were living in camps, which is not the case here.
However, they have since returned after realizing that Uganda's environment and approach to refugee assistance are more favorable.
When they reached the Kenya, they found that the situation in Kenya was worse compared to the situation of Uganda. Many, even UNHCR, even those who were not supported by UNHCR to come back, they deported them back to Rwamanja, because they saw that in Rwamanja, though we were crying that food is not enough, but they found that Rwamanja was still the best. So
these returnees are now referred to as Onward Movers and have resettled on the plots they were initially allocated, with the hope of eventually returning to their countries of origin once peace is restored.
Member states, like within the EAC, should try to advocate for peace within the countries of origin where these refugees are coming from. We have had and we are still having a very protracted refugee situation. Like for DRC, it has never stopped. It can cease, scale down, and then it comes in.
Refugees in Uganda receive modest food rations, stipends, land for cultivation, access to education and health care services, security and the freedom to engage in business, form associations and seek employment outside refugee settlements.
We don't have barriers, because humanity is humanity, regardless of the color, regardless of the place you are from. All we contribute to the development, and this development we contribute, we again consume it. Because within these loads, if you can be able to give more taxes, we also move within the loads, and the health centers and whatever, they all belong to us.
To combat shortages, the National Agriculture Research Organization has engaged immigrants in Chakatu and Nachivale refugee settlements this year in modern agricultural practices, focusing on cultivating quick maturing crops such as maize, potatoes, beans, cassava, and mushrooms.
Farmers are able to see if they deployed narrow technologies, say like bean varieties, cassava varieties, sweet potato varieties, what difference it makes on what they have been using.
And the purpose was to avail seed. But of course, the farmers are interested in the tubers, that is for cassava, but for us, we are now interested in the cuttings. So as we gave each farmer 2 bags, and these 2 bags is supposed also to pass over 4 bags to a neighbor or to a friend, or if they're in a group, to group members. So as he gets the tubers,
The Committee of Parliament on Science, Technology and Innovation has commended the government of Uganda for supporting youth in innovation and called for continuous government intervention for more support. Take a look.
The Science, Technology and Innovation Committee members of Parliament, as part of their supervisory role, have visited young innovators in Shema and Mbarara districts. Those that they visited were recipients of over 315 million Uganda shillings from the Ministry of Science and Technology, purposely to produce ethanol, sanitizers and wine from bananas.
So that's why we came to monitor how did they use the money, what have they done with it, is there anything on the ground. We have come here and found that they have some production, but they have told us the production will go by ethanol has gone down because very people need the sanitizers.
Citing contrary examples from elsewhere, members applauded these young innovators for being accountable and deserving of government funds.
Kunkamwe twabashangaho kandi twashanga eva bintu bakora bimwe twabireba konka tuketenga innovation tuketenga information enijo yo kwenda kumanya exactly sente zo za government zikakoresezwa je nare zikakoresezwa.
The innovators are requested for more support because the innovations add value in agricultural products and grant employment opportunities.
Ideally, the government should come and support us and other innovators because these initiatives help in two ways. One, they add valued products, so meaning farmers are able to have market for their produce.
That's what I can say. Konka kugatwafuna boost ya fund ejeyizire. Really, we have moved a step.
The funding boost helped these young innovators acquire equipment and raw materials that enabled large-scale production that needs to be sustained.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge.
Wano nno tuli bukoto era lero wetugenda okugaba pichipichi yaffe eri omuwanguzi waffe wano wetuzze.
I'm so excited and I'm sure even all the people, all the staff at Kwaliwath are all excited. We thank you very, very much.
Myaka 25 nga MTN eweereza naye nga buli week tugaba pichipichi 5.
Very, very excited. I'm excited about MTN giving back to its customers. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, MTN. The fact that we have won really shows that people like Mama. Their services are really nice. MTN, your services are okay. The network is good. We are satisfied.
Chikola sense ne?
Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Uganda, get ready for a run that will light up lives. Youth Go Green, in partnership with the Ministry of Energy, invites you to be a part of the 5th SDG run under the theme Run for Energy Access. Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, will flag off this epic run on Sunday, 29th October 2023 at Kololo Grounds starting at 7:30 a.m. Register today for the 5-kilometer, 10-kilometer and 17-kilometer run and book your kit at only 20,000 shillings. Call 0788-964-857 or 0701-030-673. Come run for your SDG.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You will receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
At that's all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching UBC Lunchtime News with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. Stay tuned for more programming coming your way, and have a good afternoon.